Good afternoon, I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. A special welcome to those of you watching on onespotmedia.com as well. You can watch TVJ live by downloading our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1 followed by the word Spot Media. By next week, the country should know how much more money the National Security Ministry will get to help fight crime. Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the government will be reallocating funds to the ministry to boost the resources of the security forces.
Minister of Finance will have some work to do next week, because we will be coming back here, Mr. Speaker, with some other measures that will supplement and complement what we are doing here today, which will speak to additional resources and strategies for the police force to tackle crime in the country.
The Prime Minister was contributing to the debate on the Special Zones of Operations Bill, which was passed in the lower house. Mr. Holness says the bill will increase the accountability of the military. Under the legislation, members of the security forces in charge of the special zones have to submit written reports to the National Security Council every 10 days.
And by naming the zone commanders, if anything goes wrong, there is a chain of command that leads to the zone commanders. So it is in their interest to make sure that whoever operates under them follows that written accountability framework, because it is that written framework that protects their action and protects the citizens.
Tighter security systems are coming for Jamaica's airports. That's the word from Transport Minister. Says Jamaica will fully comply with the new airport security regulations unveiled this week by the United States government. The U.S. has unveiled tough measures to enhance security on flights entering that country. The measures require enhanced passenger and electronic device screening across 105 countries. Speaking with our news center last night, Henry reacted to the U.S. government's announcement.
We must abide by those rules when they're implemented by a country in respect to its border entry into its country. Just as we in Jamaica must recognize that the security of our airports may have 3 or 4 levels of security. One which relates to a homeland type security, which is the American name, and then there's the TSA. We are in our area, we're looking at the Port Security Court, because every government has to be responsible for its citizens and its borders. And as such, we are very conscious of the need to heighten the integrity of the security at airports.
A U.S.-based truck driver and a Hanover businessman are being questioned in connection with Wednesday's multi-million-dollar cocaine seizure in Westmoreland. At about 6:45 p.m., detectives from the Narcotics Division were conducting anti-narcotics operations when they entered a 2010 Audi motor car along the Cave Main Road. The vehicle was being driven by its owner, 31-year-old businessman Denmark McGee of Welcome, Hanover. According to the police, he was accompanied by a male passenger who said he was 36-year-old truck driver Damian McLean of Florida and Westgate Hills in Montego Bay, St. James. The vehicle was searched in their presence, and 7 packages wrapped in brown masking tape were discovered in the trunk. The cocaine, which weighs nearly 8 kilograms, is valued at $9.2 million. The 4 Haitians who were rescued on Monday in Jamaican waters have been charged with illegal entry. Charges were laid late yesterday. The Haitians were rescued by fishermen but remained at sea until yesterday morning. Arrangements are being made for the 4 men to appear before the St. Thomas Parish Court today or Monday. Acting Commander for the St. Thomas Police, Deputy Superintendent Fitzroy Williams, told our news center that the Haitians were charged following an investigation.
Well, they have been by the people and they have been sterilized, and so there will be no place before the court for the reason for being illegally on the island. And at that time, the court will determine if it's deportation and if an order made as relates to what is the existing situation out there.
A farmer in the agricultural community of Bog Hole, Clarendon, is saying that the action of residents played a major role in the flooding which devastated farmlands in the area in the past 2 flood events. TVJ News revisited the area over a week after the latest flood rains wiped out crops which had just been replanted following the heavy rains in May.
Rain, it was falling like for a night, and then the other day there was flooding. We have extended rain and there has never been this problem. The sinkholes are being blocked because of the styrofoam, the pumpers, anything that you can imagine that is used in manufacturing and for household stuff. That is what is affecting the community.
And like many other flood-affected communities, residents of the farming area of Bog Hole in Clarendon are appealing for urgent attention to address the growing mosquito population. They say fogging has been done since the latest flooding in the area on June 17, but insist much more is needed.
Yes, the mosquitoes are killing us. We cannot leave our door, no matter how you close the door, the mosquitoes are coming in. And from we have the flood, they came here one time, come to look fogging, and they do not come back. And we badly need after the spraying in, fogging in here. They come on the main, but not on the turn-off lanes, and the most houses is in the turn-off.
And despite growing complaints from residents in the corporate area about the mosquito problem, the Ministry of Health says its vector control program is still being carried out. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Winston Delahaye says the ministry has embarked on several exercises to eradicate mosquitoes following recent heavy rains. He is reminding residents to take personal responsibility.
We have certainly increased our activities as it relates to fogging. Fogging is one method of addressing the issues. So we really can't lose sight of the personal responsibility for individuals in and around their homes, especially as it relates to the Aedes aegypti mosquito. And as we continue in our efforts, we have both increased duration of activities as it relates to fogging, in addition to increased numbers of persons engaged in fogging activities. We've actually employed 500 youth, which we did last year around this time for the same reason, to be in and around the home advising persons.
The latest vector control program is estimated to cost $40 million, and Dr. Delahaye says plans to release sterile mosquitoes into the environment are still underway. He was, however, unable to give a definitive timeline.
In the planning stages, the person specifically involved at the University of West Indies, who is part of the team at the Mosquito Control and Research Unit, I know they are in dialogue with the persons in Vienna who are involved with this activity. And so that's been coordinated through the university. Certainly in the pipeline, we hope we'll be able to announce that shortly. But it's every effort that you must use in order to deal with this issue. It's a significant issue. These are small animals that create major difficulties.
A section of Mannings Hill Road in St. Andrew in the vicinity of Lawrence Avenue and Sullivan Avenue will be closed this weekend to facilitate drainage improvement works. The closure, which will commence on Sunday, will be for 3 months. National Works Agency Communications Manager Stephen Shaw says the existing drainage facilities, which include a gully and a ford, are inadequate and result in the scoring of the road surface. During the closure, the alternative routes will be Constant Spring Grove to Constant Spring Road, then onto Saxthorpe Avenue, or the reverse. Motorists can also use Lawrence Avenue to Sullivan Place, then onto Sullivan Avenue, or the reverse. And the National Works NWA says effective this Saturday, additional changes will be made to the eastbound traffic along the Mandela Highway in St. Andrew. The changes will last for approximately 4 months. NWA Communications and Customer Service Manager Stephen Shaw says as of tomorrow, the 2 lanes of traffic traveling towards 6 miles will be diverted onto the newly constructed queue ramp on the northern side of the project, just beyond the Hydel group of schools. The traffic will exit back onto Mandela Highway in the vicinity of Pringle Drive. Mr. Shaw says the changes are to facilitate the continuation of works on the current eastbound lanes. The NWA says safety features such as temporary street lights and road markings will be installed on the detour road. Motorists are being advised to obey the instructions of flagged persons and posted warning signs. Time now for our Fact or Fiction feature. We're asking, fact or fiction, Paul Bogle organized a rebellion that spread across 4 parishes? We'll tell you the answer at the end of the 4th segment of the newscast. News now overseas. German lawmakers voted by a wide margin to legalize same-sex marriage today. That gives homosexual couples in Germany the same rights as heterosexual couples and will allow same-sex couples to marry and jointly adopt children. We go to the CNN and we go now to sports. With the post of JFF president now vacant following the passing of Captain Horace Burrell, the race to replace him has gathered steam, with several candidates making their intentions clear. But what will it take to succeed Burrell, who took the nation to the World Cup? And finally this afternoon, the answer to our Fact or Fiction feature. We asked, fact or fiction, Paul Bogle organized a rebellion that spread across 4 parishes. Well, it's fiction. The Paul Bogle or Morant Bay Rebellion happened in the parish of St. Sam Sharp, however, organized a passive resistance by spreading word during prayer meetings at different estates. He organized a peaceful strike insisting a few days after Christmas that the slaves would not return to work in the fields unless their concerns were heard. Between 18 and 50,000 slaves from St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth and Manchester joined the protests. The protests quickly became violent as great houses and cane fields in the west were burnt. When the rebellion was put down by the militia in the first week of January, the dead included 14 whites and 500 slaves. The deceased include Sam Sharp, who was tried and hanged for his part as organizer on May 28, 1832. And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of our news, sports and production teams, good afternoon and have a great weekend.